I am Dr. Ross, sitting in for our phenomenal Chief Sales Officer, Phyllis Nash, who helps us and blesses us every Tuesday through Friday. I hope that you did not miss the call on yesterday with our CEO, with all of the phenomenal, important updates that are taking place in this company. And if you did, you might as well check it out on our Facebook page, and you can definitely get that recording. You can always get the recording of every one of these calls. If for some reason you miss it, it's on our group Facebook page, our private group Facebook page. Go there and you can always get the recordings of each of these calls, as well as most of the calls on the evening in the Zoom calls. You don't want to ever miss any information. Even if you don't get it firsthand, you can get it secondhand. So you want to stay abreast of everything going on. So I just want to share quickly this morning something that I know that is so important in all of our lives, whether it's with Wakana, whether it's in your personal business, your personal life, and anything that you undertake to do. The only way that you can achieve it is you got to focus. That's it. You got to focus. You got to focus on that thing. I mean, it's like when you back in the day, we used to use cameras a lot. Nowadays, most of us use our phone when we're taking pictures. But there was a thing on the camera that caused you to focus the camera. Otherwise, the picture did not come out sharp. And then later on, you have these cameras that had automatic focus, and they automatically did that for you. Well, unfortunately, in life, that doesn't happen. Yeah, you don't get automatic focus. That would make it easy. We wouldn't have to do anything. We wouldn't have to put forth any effort. We wouldn't have to do any work. But we've got to do the work to stay focused. See, focus is what is that? It's to concentrate your attention or your efforts on the most pressing needs. Now see, I said something right there. The most pressing needs. Because here's the thing, everything's not pressing. Everything is not the most important thing of the day. So we have to adjust our focus. All day long, you've got to work on your focus. If you ever want to get where you're trying to go, where are we trying to get? We're trying to go diamond. We're going diamond. We're moving towards going diamond. Every step that you make from pearl to jade to sapphire to ruby to emerald is progressing you to diamond. But it takes focus. And I just want to tackle two things that are enemies of focus. You probably already know what the first one is, because you probably deal with it on from a day to day, moment to moment. Distractions. Yeah, distractions. It's so easy to get distracted. We allow ourselves to be so easily distracted. And I'm gonna give you three things that cause us to get distracted. One is some of us can never say no. See, some of you today, when somebody comes to you and you're in the middle of doing something, you need to say no. Some of us never say no. Do you regularly? I'm gonna ask you the question. Do you regularly drop what you're doing because somebody else needs your help? I mean, just right then and there. I mean, drop what you're doing. And sometimes people will use you because they know you're going to drop what you're doing. And you can't say no. But you've got to recognize that sometimes you've got to say no. It doesn't mean you won't ever do it. It's not a bad thing. See, we got to get it out of our head that saying no is a bad thing, because sometimes you can't do it right now. Why? Because you're focused on something, and people will, whatever's going on in somebody's life, it's important to them at that particular time. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not talking about emergency kind of situations, but let's be realistic. Everything is not an emergency. And if you always drop what you're doing, whether it's your customer or supplier, a network marketing person, a connection, even your friends or your family, if you do, you got to remember that developing your business is in everybody's best interest. Even that person that needs you right now, even that person that's just pulling from you right now. Listen, if you develop your business, they're going to be blessed too. The healthier your business is, the more people you can do what? Help. The more the more money you make, the more people you can help. That's just bottom line. The more people you can do bioscans for, the more people you can expose to Wakanda, the more people. That's why I told you on the last time, we cannot disregard the seed. So you got to keep sowing the seed because we want to help somebody. That's not a selfish thing, it's a selfless thing to be able to say no. And then sometimes the reason we're so easily distracted is because we don't really value our time. Your time is valuable. Time is something you cannot get back. Your time is valuable. And let's say, for instance, you got a 2 hour meeting, and during that 2 hours, you don't respond to the calls or the emails that hit your phone because you're in the middle of a meeting, or you're in the middle of a conference, or you're in the middle of this call, or you're in the middle of a Zoom. So you don't respond to those. Guess what? Did the world end? Sometimes people will make you think that the world's going to end if you don't respond. But when you're focused on something and you're taking that particular amount of time to do what you're called to do what you have set in your schedule to do, you got to stay focused. When you're already in the middle of something, it's also possible to delay responding to that call. It's okay. It really is okay to see that call and say, okay, I'll get back. Not, but do get back. Sometimes we don't get back. You should get back. You'll get the task completed, and then everybody's going to be satisfied. But you'll still be able to deal with whatever the issue was when you get back to it. But stay focused. And the third thing is that causes us so often to lose our focus and to get distracted because is what I'd like to call chasing squirrels. we chase after squirrels. We chase after all kinds of stuff. Often, uh, really, one of the best traits of successful people is that they're regularly full of new ideas, always thinking of something new, always really coming up with something creative. And that's a great thing, but it can also distract you from the main thing. What is the main thing? What is the main thing? And if it sounds like you, then you probably have the ability to become very successful because you're creative. But unless you've got somebody else to complete the first task that you did, then you've got to complete one task before you can all of a sudden begin to do all the other things that have come to your mind. Sometimes you can have a brainstorm, you can have an idea. And what do you need to do? You need to write that down, set it aside, say, I'm going to do that. That happens sometimes on Facebook. You know, people get on Facebook and they get on there to do a particular thing. And all of a sudden you get caught up. Has this ever happened to you? You get caught up in the feed and you're looking at everybody else's life and everybody else's world and what's going on with everybody else. And you're not accomplishing what you set out to do. You're just looking. You didn't make a comment. That's what we should be doing. You didn't share a post. That's what we should be doing. No, you're just reading what's going on in everybody else's world. Your objective there, if you saw it, was to make a comment about it, was to share, was to tag somebody regarding your own page. Yes, your own Wakanda page. So focus. Let's not get distracted. And then the second thing I want to reach out to you about is we get distracted so easily because we try to keep everything in our head. Why would you trust your head? We can't keep everything in our head. Listen, guys, our brain is not designed to remember massive lists of all the things you have to do. Get you some paper or a notebook or a tablet, or do it on your computer, do it on your phone. You got places for notes on your phones, and make a list. Stop trusting your own head to remember all this stuff. Because when you leave your to do list inside your head, it creates stress. It creates that feeling of being overwhelmed and a feeling of even being out of control. So, inevitably, it makes it impossible to even prioritize things. Because at least if you write it down, or at least if you put it on your computer, you can change the colors, you can do all kinds of things to say, okay, this is more important than this, and this is, I need to tackle this first, I need to do this next. And even if you don't get it all done, it's not in your head to cause all those other reactions. Because when it's just in your head, something you're going to forget. The end of the day, you go by and, oh man, I should have done such and such. And now you're upset with yourself. You're frustrated because you forgot it. Put it on paper, put it on something you can look at, put it on a tablet. We've got electronic things. I still kind of go old school, and I still, I love to just write it down on paper and put a number by it 1, 2, 3, 4. I might change the order throughout the course of the day, but I'm writing it down because I don't want to. You want to get things completed, but it takes focus. So find a way to get all of your actions out of your head. Find a system that works for you, because focus is what we've got to do in this season of our lives, in this season of our business, to accomplish what we're setting out to do, and we're going to set out to do it, we're going to accomplish it. You've got to focus, because we want everybody that wants to and believes that you can. Because see, the truest enemy of focus is what's behind or what's between your two ears. It's what's in your head. It's your own thoughts. Because if you don't even think you can accomplish it, you're right. Whatever you think is, that's what you agree with. You can't accomplish it. So let's focus today. Wakanda Nation, let's focus today. Let's get some things done. Today is Transformation Tuesday, and we've got things that are going on right here at Wakanda. Make sure that you go to our Facebook page, start posting, start sharing, start tagging, start commenting, and also make sure that your customers, when they sign up for Wakanda or to be a customer or even a distributor, some of you yourself, if you're not receiving the emails of reminding you about the deal of the day, we had a deal of the day, buy two, get one free, the power and the pure hempranium. Yesterday, you also got a 5% off. But all week long, you can still buy two and get one free without the 5% that ended at midnight or at 11:59. But the rest of the week, you can still buy the two and get one free. And we always are trying to send out reminders of that by the end of the week so that you don't miss it by Sunday. Now, if you're not getting those, it might be because you opted out when you signed up for Wakanda. If your customer is not getting that, they may have opted out of receiving that. So if they're not getting that email me at Dr. Roz, DRROZ at Wakanda.com, so we can put them back on the list so they can start getting those emails that reminds them. So even when you don't remind them, the company's reminding them. All right. So, hey, let's have a great Wakanda kind of day. All those healthcare providers, let's get them on the 7 o'clock call with our doctor's edition, with our medical advisory board. Let's get them on there at 8 o'clock for the overview. Make sure that you join us in the mornings at 8:30 a.m. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. Just got to get moving. It doesn't even matter if you don't have a rebounder. Listen, if you've got the time to just move your arms and move your legs, feel free to join us. We look forward to having you. And that's it. Have a great Wakanda kind of day. Bye-bye for now.